What's going on, everybody? Dylan Madden here. I highly doubt we're going to have any people on this show tonight. It's going on 9:14 Eastern. So let's wait and see. Two people. What's going on, guys? Let's get a few more people in, and then we'll get started. Nice, 5 people. What's going on, everybody? Hope you had a fantastic day. Wow, it is already Wednesday. Time is flying by. So first off, let me know. Let me see if I can even see you. Chill with everyone in the studio. Let me see. Let me know how the audio is. I'm testing a brand new setup, and I want to make sure that the audio and everything else is going good. Let me know in the comments if you can see, like, overall, if the visual looks good and if the audio is good. Crystal clear. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, fantastic. Let's go ahead and jump into today's live. So this is completely off the cuff. I was in the middle of recording a video and the audio kept messing up, and I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's go live after I fiddled with the audio a little bit. So today we're going to be talking about something very crucial for you to understand. I actually made a video about this. It'll be going out on Instagram in the next couple of days. So many of you, actually, let me start again. So I'm going to have this clipped for you guys. So many of you are above average intelligence. I talked to you guys in the comments. I talked to you guys on the email. So people writing in from the newsletter. I get DMs every single day from you guys. And a lot of you are actually above average intelligence. Now, maybe you think that you are less intelligent than you actually are, but unless you're doing like just something crazy in your life, more than likely you're above average intelligence. When I say doing something crazy, what I mean is just making stupid decisions all the time, maybe, or like abusing substances or doing all that type of stuff. Who knows? I don't care. What I do care about is the fact that there are people less intelligent than you, less skilled than you, and in some cases, even younger than you, but they're making far more money. Now, I'm not going to name drop who inspired today's live, but I was talking to a person. He's 16 years old and making $40,000 a month. Now, whenever I say that, don't hear that and all of a sudden start like shitting on yourself. I'm not saying that. He definitely was a little bit of right time, right place, right time, but also since he's just going to school, he's taken that time and just dove fully into the skill set that he's building, and that's why he's seen success. Now, you guys can also have that. I'm not saying that you're going to be a 16-year-old making 40 grand a month, but however old you are, you can find success. However, the issue with people that are above average intelligence and even average intelligence is as soon as you start doing something, your brain immediately starts telling you all the ways it can go wrong, or you'll finally start seeing progress, and then you'll see some shiny object, and then you'll come up with a million other ideas, and you'll start doing that. Before you know it, you've accomplished nothing. Versus the person that is just a straight up idiot. And I'm not saying the person that this video is inspired by is an idiot. He's not. But they're straight up idiots that are making more than you. There are people that are less qualified than you. There are people that don't have as good intentions as you do, but yet they're out there living their best life and they're making money. Now, I know there's nuance to everything. You could argue, well, it's going to come crashing down. But in most cases, they keep on living their life, enjoying it, making good money, all that type of stuff. So how can you turn your intelligence from a curse and flip it into a blessing? Because right now, no matter what information you see, no matter what testimonials you see, no matter how much actual results you start seeing, your mind keeps telling you, oh, no, yeah, I know you're doing this, but did you hear about this random YouTuber, what they said about that? Or, oh, yeah, on Twitter, right now, this is the most trending thing. Or you'll start seeing a little bit of results, and then your mind tells you, oh, no, yeah, you're not progressing as quickly as you probably should. See all these other people, what they're accomplishing. Yeah, I don't think this is for you. So how about we do something else? Or, oh, yeah, I mean, this is working, and you start thinking of all the reasons why it's going to fail. That is the curse of intelligence. Now, you could allow this to continue holding you back, making you poor, making your lifestyle less than optimal, and really just not even having a good lifestyle in general. Or you can listen to what I'm saying on today's show and flip it into a blessing. And when I say flip it to a blessing, you're going to not only start making the money you want, not only are you going to live the lifestyle that you want, but you're going to accomplish it much faster than the average person. And the reason for that is, let's go back to the idiot. Why are they seeing success? They are seeing success 100% because they're not thinking about it. In most cases, they don't even have the mind to be able to think that way. But they don't see all the ways it could go wrong. They don't think about 1,000 different ideas. They just see something that's working, or they're, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And then they take action. So by default, if you take action, you're going to get some kind of outcome sent back to you. As an example, right now, I want to hold my phone. I can sit there and think about it, or I see the phone, I reach down, I pick it up, now I've got it in my hand. It's the same exact way for like anything you want in life. Now, yes, you're going to have a plan. Yes, you're going to have a skill. Yes, there's sometimes luck involved. But at the end of the day, time is going to continue passing. And until you decide that this is what I want and you apply your intelligence to making a plan, number one. So whenever I say make a plan, I don't mean just sitting down and writing, I want to get rich, or I want to make $100,000 in 2022 from freelancing, or I want to do this. That's not a plan. That is not a plan. That is too surface level. Results only come whenever you simplify them into steps. That's why on another training I did for you guys, and I broke down how easy it is to hit $100,000 a year and how you're actually going to be making even more money working less as an email copywriter within the freelancing space than what you're doing right now in your job. And I can't remember the exact math, but we did it, and I ended up having to redo it because I didn't believe it. But if you are working a job 40 hours a week, you are actually making about $86,000 less than what you would be making if you were a freelancer. Now, there's many different types of freelancers out there. Not all of them are the same. Some of them are a little bit better. Some of them are a little bit less as good. But all in all, if you become a freelancer and you apply yourself, you will be making more money than what you're making right now from your job. And you're also going to be working for less. Now, let's go back to today's lesson. The reason the idiot is making more than you, even though he's less qualified, is because he sees an opportunity and he takes action on it. He doesn't think about why it's going to go wrong. He doesn't think about all these other ideas versus somebody such as yourself, which is above average intelligence. You see an opportunity and you immediately start thinking of why it could go wrong. You start thinking a million steps ahead, and before you know it, you haven't gotten started. So how can we switch that to where your intelligence goes from a curse to a blessing? We can switch that by, like I said earlier, making a plan. But whenever you make a plan, I want you to simplify it into steps. Because if you just have some grand plan, great, that's awesome. But how are you actually going to go about doing it? You're going to go about doing it by breaking it into, as an example, if I wanted to go make coffee, I would tell my girl to make it, but let's say that I was going to go make my coffee. I would have to think about, okay, I need to go to the coffee machine. That's step number one. Step number two, grab coffee. Step number three, put the K cup in the coffee maker. Step 4, grab cup. Step 5, start it. Turn it on, blah, 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 blah. Before I know it, I would have a cup of coffee in my hand. And you can do that for literally any goal that you have. So whatever it is, like tell me in the comment section right now, what are some of your goals right now? Let me know. Yes, this live will be saved. I'm going to have my team edit it, clip it up for you guys. That way there's not, like I know in the beginning we were talking for like 5 minutes about nonsense. So we'll cut through all that. Sean, what's going on, bro? What are some things that you guys are looking to achieve? Let's see, Nightwalker. Exactly my problem with this overthinking simply leads to procrastination in my work area. Spot on as always. Appreciate you, bro. 100%. So I'm assuming you guys don't have any, like I know you have goals that you want to achieve, but I haven't seen anything typed in. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. So let's see, exactly my problem. Overthinking leads to procrastination. Okay, 30K a month by January 2023. How are you going to achieve that? Let's go ahead and break this down live on the air. Because the issue that a lot of you have, and the reason I say a lot of you have, I used to have it too, is you make these statements and these goals that you have, and you don't really break it down after that. As an example, when it comes to the work that you're doing, you can think about all the different tasks you got to do. Oh my God. And it's going to overwhelm you. Or you can simply just break those tasks into prioritization. So priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. And then from there, you could further break that down into, okay, so for this task, I need to do this, this, this. Boom, done. Move on to the next task. Break that down. Step 1, 2, 3, done. And what you're going to find is you're going to become a lot more productive, and you're not going to sit there and think about things, because a lot of the times you start overthinking it's because you don't actually understand what you're doing. It's not that you're lazy, it's that you don't fully understand or see the full picture of each step that you need to do. So if you ever find yourself procrastinating, what I want you to do is start breaking it down into simple steps you can follow. SEO for chiropractors and functional medicine doctors. Okay, I'm sure that could be a good niche. I wouldn't name drop the person, but there's somebody that knows quite a bit about chiropractic and all that type of stuff. So maybe it's a good niche. But to get you to 30K a month, how many clients or how much can you charge per client to get you to that point? That's what the type of stuff, the type of level that I want to get all of you guys thinking at is you want $30,000 a month, which is a totally realistic income goal. But if you just see it as 30K a month, are you saying like 10K per client? So now you need 3 clients. Like, what are you going to do? How much are you going to charge each client? Okay, cool. 30 clients on $1,000 a month retainer. That sounds like a lot of work. So 30 clients on a $1,000 a month retainer. I mean, how much work is that going to take per client? Are you going to be delegating the work to a team? Like, as an example, whenever I was growing my email copywriting agency, I got up to 12 clients and I absolutely hated my life. This was back in 2020. So I hated my life. And the reason was because I had all these clients because that's what I thought I had to do. And one, I started going kind of literally crazy because I was having to take on the voice of all these clients. But I was also doing it almost entirely by myself. Now, nowadays, I could go back up to 12 clients if I really wanted to because I've got a team. I've got people that I could delegate different aspects of the work to. And then I would focus on the bigger picture, the strategy, the marketing, all that type of stuff. So, I mean, if you're going to have 30 clients at $1,000 a month, one, that sounds like a ton of work. You're going to be doing SEO. So what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be writing blog posts? Or are you just overall going to go through their back end and do the SEO for their websites? Like, what exactly are you going to be doing SEO wise? Lim, how many clients could one handle without having to hire a team? Yeah, 4 or 5 clients. It also depends a lot on the workload. Like I'm speaking as an email copywriter because that's what I do. I could personally handle about 5 clients completely by myself, and that would be fine. I would work quite a bit more than I do now. I average about 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours a day. I mean, there are definitely days where I do like 8 hours, 10 hours. That's with all the different brands and projects that I've got going on. From an email copywriting standpoint, I probably average about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. So, but that's from an email copywriting standpoint. I don't know what your skill set is. So, what you have to take into account is how much work does it take to fulfill the job for your client. So, let's say it only takes you 10, 20 minutes to fulfill something on a day-to-day basis. Well, I mean, in theory, you could handle probably, I don't know, 10, 20 clients. But then you have to come down to like, what type of goals do you have for yourself? What type of schedule do you want to work? How much money could you or how much could you increase your income by hiring 1 or 2 or 3 other people? And from there, you can figure out, do I need to hire somebody? But it goes back to, it really comes down to you, the individual. How much energy do you have? How much like energy and work does it take to fulfill your clients? And then once you figure that out, it's pretty much like, for a fact, I can handle X amount of clients. Let's see. Tsunami said, get better at my new job as a developer, increase skills to where I can work less hours. When I gain some free time, I'll slowly start to transition into freelance work until I'm location independent. Boom. That sounds great. So the only thing, like, I really, really like how specific you were. Like, and it's almost like organized into steps. So one thing you could do is now break it into a phase. So phase 1 is doing this. Phase 2 is doing this. Phase 3 is doing this. In each of those phases, just focus on that one phase. As example, when it comes to my personal brand, there are phases that I go into. Right now, I'm focusing on growing this YouTube channel. I could focus on growing Instagram, growing Twitter, growing YouTube, growing the blog, growing the email list. I could focus on all these different things. However, I could just put more energy into one thing and let everything else kind of build and maintain as it is now. So, what's the point of what I just said to you? I would break it down into what can you focus on right now, and that is phase 1. And then you can move into phase 2, and then you can move into phase 3. Okay, Eric, with outsourcing, I will work 1 hour per month per client and 20 hours of prospecting. So you'll work 1 hour per month per client. Okay, so I mean, if you're only going to be working 1 hour per month per client, I mean, yeah, you could definitely hire, or you could definitely handle 30 clients at that point. I mean, still something that bothers me about that 30 client thing, though. I mean, if you're only doing SEO, if you're delivering on the results, they're happy, all power, like, give you the power. That's impressive. So 1 hour per client per month, also impressive. So 20 hours of prospecting, cool. So, I mean, all in all, Eric, I like the idea of that. So as far as prospecting, let's move on. Let's move along the plan. How are you going to be doing prospecting? Are you going to be reaching out to them via social media? So Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn? Are you going to be doing cold email? What are you going to be doing? Hamad, I think 4 or 5 is fine. Yes, I agree. Robert, you shaved. You look lovely. I appreciate it, Robert. Yeah, I was going for something a little different. I've been sparring because I'm going to be doing a fight in the next month. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Shaved it off. I look clean, all that type of stuff. Wanted to change up the look. Don't know how much longer I'll keep it because I keep having people think that I'm like 18 years old, 20 years old. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be called that. So probably will end up growing out the beard again. So I'll look like however old you guys think whenever I've got the beard. But I don't want to be looking 18 or 20 years old. Liam, email marketing or email copywriting as well. Awesome. Omar, when you did not have clients, what did you do to keep your skills sharp? Or is it that the content writing kept you sharp? So that's actually a really good question. A lot of people ask, what did you do to get good at copywriting? And that's going to be a clip right there. So let me redo that one more time so if the team can go through this and edit it into clips. What did I do to get good at copywriting? what I did to get good at copywriting is writing my blog. And then I also had two niche websites that I was doing. So a niche website, I wouldn't recommend it for you guys now, but essentially a niche website is you build it around a theme, a topic. So I had a Kratom blog, and then I also had a mail enhancement blog, and I would essentially write content for those topics. And I would also had my own email list. So that's essentially what I did to learn copywriting. I started learning in real time uh, what type of emails get better clicks. Okay, great. This email didn't do anything. This article didn't do anything. Okay, wow. This article, I've noticed an increase in affiliate sales. Oh, wow. This email sold like $800 worth of XYZ product. So, one of the best things that all of you can do that are watching this is not only offer your skill to clients, but in the beginning, especially, offer it to yourself. Build your own email list, build your own website, build your own app. Use yourself as a guinea pig to start learning the skill, and then also to stay sharp. And then once you take on clients, you don't really have to worry about it as much. That's why once I really started killing it with freelancing, I hardly put out any blog posts. I kind of stepped away from Twitter a little bit, and I ended up coming back because I want to pivot a little bit more into what I'm doing with my brand now. But you'll get to a point where you don't have to have all these other brands and projects going on because you've got client stuff. Unless you genuinely enjoy doing it, then by all means keep doing it. My brand style guidelines designed for food and beverage companies. What do you think about this niche, and how can I get the clients on retainers? Brand style guidelines designed for food and beverage companies. I personally don't think that's a good niche. And the reason for that is they already spend millions and millions, if not billions, on that type of stuff. So it's going to be very, very competitive. And they just hire people like that into their corporations. So if you wanted to go down that path, I would look for more mid-tier types of companies, meaning it's not a company that's in every single grocery store or every single convenience store. It's somebody that's just getting started. Maybe they only have an online presence, which answers your question on how to find those types of clients. The way you find them is simply reaching out to them on social media. How long did it take you to start averaging a good monthly income from copywriting? I've been doing affiliate marketing in HU. Shout out HU. And have scaled to a decent level, and now I want to get in the copywriting space. So when you say scale to a decent level, I'm assuming you mean, in theory, you're a good copywriter. Is that what you mean? And when I say in theory, I mean you haven't actually taken on clients or anything like that. Yes or no? Nino, when you say that you've scaled to a decent level, do you mean that you have clients, or are you saying that you have scaled to? Okay, so you have clients, or you scaled your skill level in theory. But okay, so I'm just going to go and answer your first question. I was going to give you some advice, but I don't see you typing an answer to what I asked. Okay, so how long did it take you to start averaging a good monthly income from copywriting? I mean, it really depends on. For me personally, it wasn't until 2019, but I was also making before that about 1,500 to $2,000 a month from some of my niche websites, and you could argue that was from copywriting. So if that's a good income to you, then it would have been probably like 2017, 2018, or no, into 2017 going into 2018. From copywriting, from a freelancing perspective, it was late 2019, early 2020 was when I started making a decent income from copywriting. So to answer your question even further, I actually properly got started as a freelancer in 2019. And by 2020, I was making a good income. That was when I first cracked 8K, 10K, 15K. And then by 2021, that was when I started cracking the 15, 20K months, 30K months, etc. So for me personally, it was once I started making that, okay, I can actually travel. I don't have to sit there and only book like a week, 2 weeks at an Airbnb. For me, that was a good income. Uh, However, 3 years in, I was making really good income to the point where like my mom's retired. I've got a nice apartment. My girl's taken care of. I've got people that work for me that are taken care of. Not saying that I take care of everything for them. I'm saying they earn enough money with me so that they can have their own individual reality. So I would say the first year, that's when I never had to worry about a job again. But a year and a half in, that was when I started making enough money to where like I felt personally rich. Now, compare that to somebody that like the Tates as an example, nowhere near their level of wealth. However, I was making enough money to where I had a nice apartment. I could go rent other hotels around the city. My girl and I were going out to nice restaurants. I was enjoying myself, had more than enough money. And for me, I literally felt rich. Now, was I? You could argue, like, I was rich enough to where I didn't have to worry about bills, didn't have any debt, was making more than enough money. I could send money to my mom. I hadn't retired her yet, but I could still send money to her. And that was when I felt rich. And once I felt like, okay, I've actually made it, that was when like my mom was taken care of. I was making way more than enough money to live and enjoy my life. So it comes back to, what do you want? What type of income do you need to feel like you're rich? Like, how much money do you need to earn that, how much money do you need to earn to hit that is what I'm saying. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, I need 10K a month, 10K a month, because everybody else says I need 10K a month. Maybe. I mean, at 10K a month, you are making really good money, depending on, obviously, if you're one of those people, like a lot of them on Twitter making 10K a month, but they're spending like 9K a month. I wouldn't want that type of lifestyle. That I just wouldn't like. On the other hand, if you're making 10K a month and you're spending, let's say, 4 or 5 grand a month living in like abroad, like if you're living in America, you would need about 10K a month, in my experience, to have like an average life. But let's say you're living in South America, if you're living in Eastern Europe, if you're living in Asia, making 10 grand a month, spending 4 or 5 grand a month, you're going to have a pretty good life. You'll have a nice apartment. You'll be able to go out to eat all the time, probably every single meal if you wanted. You'll have a good life. Oh yeah, 10K a month in Romania, yeah, for sure. Like you're making great money in Romania if you're at 10K a month. I'll actually be in Romania very soon. Let's see. 10K in Jamaica is great too. Yeah, I've been to, oh man, what was the name? Montego Bay. That's where I was at. I was trying to remember. We were going to go to Kingston, but I was in Montego Bay in 2019. So I have been to Jamaica. I was only there for like 3 days, so I don't think that counts. So I definitely need to go back at some point. Okay, I've been I've been a chiropractor and FM doc for 30 years. I'm plugged. Okay. In that case, if you've been in it for 30 years, you're good. You're good. Because that means, I assumed you were somebody that just randomly picked this, because a lot of people pick dentists and pick other types of things like that. So I just assumed, I mislabeled you, as we would say in today's world. I mislabeled Eric, everybody. I assumed that he just found out about this whole thing and he just picked chiropractors randomly. So in that case, I mean, if you've been in it for 30 years, you already are connected, then 100% go in. You'll build a following with LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I would assume chiropractors on LinkedIn. I haven't personally targeted them, but LinkedIn tends to be for more of the professional type of people. So, meaning chiropractors would be there. So, what I want to see you start doing is post videos around SEO for chiropractors and any other type of niche that you want to go after. What I want you to start doing is making videos about that, about those niches, but also why they need SEO, why it's important that they have the SEO optimized compared to like competition, how they can stand out, how they can reach more people, how they can make more money from SEO. And then you can have a little call to action at the end, basically telling them to message you privately, and you'll get on the phone and break down a full game plan for them, or audit their website or something like that. People love those free audits. Do some guys really join the war room with nothing but a willingness to learn? Yes, I did back in 2019. Like early 2019. Like I was one of like the first 5 people to join the war room back in the day. And this is back whenever I was cleaning properties. I was doing Craigslist. When I say doing Craigslist, like flipping items on Craigslist. And yeah, I joined the war room with literally not nothing. Like I was making some decent money. I was on the right path, but I was nowhere near being able to make the kind of income that I could travel the world with. So, and basically, I started with nothing but a willingness to learn. I refused to live the life that I was living. I was sick and tired of having to clean bathrooms. And just so YouTube doesn't start hating me, I'm not going to use certain very graphic words, but I cleaned some disgusting bathrooms, some disgusting parking lots, and got paid doing it. So it was fine. And I was able to take that free time and put it into figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. So I was working on my niche websites. I was doing all that type of stuff. I was doing Craigslist, flipping, and the war room gave me a sense of direction. It also gave me mindset shifts that I needed, and it gave me action-oriented things, and it also made this higher type of life believable. Because it's easy, if you think of success, it's easy to think, oh, yeah, Lambo, mansion, like beautiful girl, all these different types of things. It's easy to see that, and you don't believe that it's possible for you. But whenever you see everybody around you is some form of success that you aspire to be, and some other people at your level as well, and even below your level, but most of the people are above you, it like you cannot accept any reality, but I have to get to that at some point. So it becomes believable, if that makes sense. They are, but I'll take any advice you have. I'll make videos for sure. Anytime, Eric. Anytime. Keep me updated. Are your headphones any good? Yes, they're amazing. I love them, especially whenever I'm out in public, like working or something, because I've got noise cancellation. So somebody could literally speak up on me right now and I would not hear you. Now that I'm saying that, I'm going to start casually looking in the computer screen right here. That way I can see if somebody's going to come up and assassinate me. But yeah, love the headphones. Great bass, great audio. They're great for calls. Like when I do client calls with these all day, every day. So yeah, they're fantastic. Thanks for the advice, G. What would be your take on going into the fitness niche? Would it be too oversaturated? So when it comes to oversaturation just basically means that there's money being made. So if there's money being made and you can position yourself in there and you provide something that other people value, well, you're going to make money. So when you see saturation, don't register as, oh, okay, all these other people are making money, I can't. Register it as, oh my God, all these people are making money. If I find a way to stand out and take some of that attention, I'm going to get paid. Let's see. How do you build a proper brand on social media without being inauthentic? As a young man with no experience, I wish to focus. Okay, so if you are planning to focus on email copywriting and you're a young person watching this and you have zero experience, you don't live that much of an interesting life, you're still figuring it out, and you want to be authentic, here's how you do it. To be authentic as a young person that's building their brand, you don't position yourself as an authority. When I say position yourself as an authority, don't be one of these guys that's getting on Twitter or getting on Instagram, literally copying all these other people. Like I see people copying me all the time, copying Andrew all the time. Like it's so cringe. Like they literally copy our mannerisms. They copy the way we dress, the way we talk, the ideas we have. Don't be that guy. So if you're young and you want to be authentic, what I want you to do is share your story, share your process. You have overcome things that other people will find of value. Like for me, as an example, whenever I was coming up, I didn't have much to offer. So I was 286 pounds, and I showcased myself down to 170 pounds. I showcased me overcoming suicidal thoughts. I showcased myself like just different fitness stuff. I talked about how I made money with affiliate marketing. I talked about all these different things. So for you, share maybe you've got a fitness journey. Maybe you've got some other problem that you've overcome that you can talk about. You can showcase you learning email copywriting. So as you're learning how to write proper emails, you can start sharing different ideas and lessons that you're learning. And don't expect for it to be an overnight success. Like, oh my God, a year later, you've got tens of thousands of followers. Don't expect that. Just see it as a way for you to reach out to other people and offer your personality, offer your skills. And at some point, as you start building your relatability and people start caring about your journey, you're going to also be able to leverage that into money. Meaning, clients are going to reach out to you. You're not going to have to do as much outreach, which leads back to any of you that are wanting to get into freelancing, don't sit there expecting that all the clients to want to come to you. You have to go out to them. If you are not making the kind of income that you want, it's because you need to put in more work. So stop expecting everything to just fall into your lap. And speaking of things just falling into your lap, I want to play this video real quick. One, just to see if it works. But then two, it's a guy, his name is Ronaldo. So shout out to Ronaldo. He came to me about a year ago, I want to say. And no idea anything about email copywriting. Had never, I think he maybe wrote a few emails. But let's rewind all the way back. He had no skill at all. This is a year ago now. So what I'm about to show you is I think it's past 6 months, 5 months, something like that. But rewind a year ago, no skill, didn't even know what a niche was struggling. And he eventually picked email copywriting. And now he has come back and he entered a program of mine called the Freelancer Mogul. And once he came back, he had 2 clients, but he was stuck. So let's listen to his story right here because it's going to give me chills. It'll probably give you chills also.
I've been where you are before. You want to make money online, you want to escape the rat race, maybe you have a job, you want to leave it, but you don't know how. Then, for me, it was about 4 months later, you decide to pick email marketing. Okay, now what? How do I write a good email? What makes good email? How do I prove that I can write good emails without any experience? These are all the questions that went through my head, and they're probably going through yours. So that's why I'm here to tell you about what Dylan and Shane did for me and what they can do for you. So when I decided to join Dylan and Shane in their mentorship program, I had 2 clients at the time paying me on retainer, and I told them, hey, I want to take this thing to the next level. They said, okay, let's do it. It was very simple, very straightforward. I cannot express just how powerful it is to have 2 of the best minds in the game, whether it's email marketing, whether it's any sort of freelancing, really. The weekly calls that we have helped me 10x my business and my mindset, which really is where it all starts, as you know, as we all know, but we all need a reminder of that. And I think they do a great job of everything you think that's going through your head, whether you have 0 clients, whether you have 3 clients, whether you have 2 like I did, wherever you are right now, I guarantee you, thinking to get to the next step seems super complicated and it's very disorganized in your head. Shane and Dylan do a fantastic job of systemizing everything, step by step. You can't go to step 3 until you've done step 1, right? Just an example of what they'll tell you on our weekly calls all the time. And many of the people inside the group that are seeing success say the same thing because we all listen to them and we realize how simple this stuff really is. Now, it's not easy, but it's simple. And we as humans just tend to overcomplicate things. So that's where I realized, okay, these guys obviously been in the game way longer than I am. They're way more successful than I am. So let's listen. And I did. And I've never been more thankful for me taking a chance on them that I'm realizing now how important the group calls are and just having the accountability of people that are driven to the same mission. Being an email marketer can be stressful, just like anything else. It's really just a matter of simplifying it, taking it step by step, and there's no one better to take you there from where you are now to where you want to be than these 2 guys. There's no one better. I've talked to a lot of other people, and there's no one better. I paid to talk to a lot of other people, and I promise you there's no one better. So if you're serious and you're not afraid of honest criticism and pushing yourself more than you thought, because we all have this level we think we can be at, you could be 10 times higher. And they'll help you realize that, and they'll not only help you realize that, they'll help you get there with a smile on their face, because they know what the investment you make in them is, whether it's financial, but more importantly, the time and energy you give to them, they give it back to you tenfold. So if you're an email marketer and you just started, or you're an email marketer like I was that needs to scale, this is the group for you.
There you go, guys. And the reason I played that was to show you, one, how achievable it is, but then secondly, Something he said is that we have the tendency to overcomplicate things, which goes into today's lesson. There are people that are straight up idiots. They're less qualified than you, but yet they're out here making the kind of money that you can only dream of. And the reason for that is you have above average intelligence, so you complicate things. Instead of breaking it down into a simple plan and then taking that plan, which, as we said, a plan is having simple steps. So don't make a plan, as we already said, I want to be rich. I want to make X amount per month. Great. That's the goal. That's the objective. That's the intention that you have. But then when you make a plan is how are you going to get there? So look at your plan as a map. Map it out. What different types of steps do you need to take to get you from where you're at now to where you want to be? Boom. Once you do that, you've got a plan. Simplify everything that you want to do. Stop complicating it, because once you've simplified it, your intelligence is going to actually give you the ideas that you need, but then you also have to kind of turn your mind off a little bit. Don't see all the different distractions. And I wrote an article about this on commoncollected.com, but it's called The Lady in the Red Dress. As you get on your path, as you make your plan, who knows, this might be the video that you needed to see to where you're going to have your wake up now moment and the light bulb's going to come on. After this is over, you're going to sit down and be, oh my God, Dylan just dropped fire. You're going to sit down, make your plan, write down the simple steps, and then you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, and then a lady in the red dress is going to walk by. And this could be a distraction, meaning you get on Twitter and some random person with no social proof at all has some well-written tweet. And you're like, oh, wow, that's a genius idea. And then you're going to forget the plan that you made tonight, and you're just going to keep going on forever and ever, living in purgatory. It's not heaven. It's not hell. Somewhere in the middle. It's terrible. It's boring. It's monotonous. And it's miserable. And the only way you're going to get out of that purgatory is by making a plan, simplifying each of those steps to get you from where you're at now to where you want to be as simple as possible, and you stop complicating it. Because I promise you that if you do that, you will actually start seeing progress. And then once you start seeing progress, keep that mind under control. Don't let a lady in the red dress walk across your path and be like, oh, actually, I want that. I don't want the thing I'm already going towards. And once you do that, you're going to start progressing. And if I can help any of you achieve that, I've got plenty of free stuff out there for you. I don't expect for you to buy any of my programs. I welcome you to, because that's where I put a lot of my best material, and you also get direct access to me. But even if you don't have the money, because I know some of you are under hard times, we're in a recession, all that type of stuff. That's why I put together the videos. People, other Twitter guys, who are like, oh my God, Dylan, I can't believe you're putting this out. You should make a course about it. Blah, 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 blah. Watch my video on how to go from $0 to $10,000. It's called 10K Masterclass. Check that out. It's a 45-minute video where I break down how you can go from $0 to $10,000. Instead of you having to go out and buy a Twitter guide, I've put together a video on how to grow a Twitter account from 0 to 25,000 followers. It's totally free. So you don't have to buy my stuff to start seeing progress. You could literally go through my free content, make a ton of money, change your life, and go on into the sunset. On the other hand, if you're interested in becoming an email copywriter, I really, really recommend that you check out the Freelancer Mogul program. It's $600. So I know that to you might seem like it's a lot. And if that is a lot to you, don't sit there and try to spend your last bit of money to get it. I've been where you're at. I don't want you to be desperate. I've got Email List Mastery, which is $35. That's a good beginner level product for you, where you're going to learn how to write profitable emails in 10 minutes. You're going to learn how to nurture your email list and basically package what you're doing. And you can take that into packaging it into a service for a client. But that's going to give you a skill, because until you have a skill, nobody's going to pay you. Literally nobody. Right now, you maybe trade your time for money. That is the only value that you bring to the equation. As a freelancer, the only value that you bring to the table is the results that you can create. And the only way you can create results is through the skill set that you have. Now, there are many, many different skills out there. I'm not saying email copywriting is the only one that you could pick, but it's the one that I've got the most experience with, on top of Twitter ghostwriting, social media management, but specifically email copywriting is my skill. It's my bread and butter. It's how I pay for this entire lifestyle that I have. And if you would like to learn, I've got the $35 option, which is, once again, it's called Email List Mastery, 100K per year email list mastery. Or if you have a little bit more bread on hand and do not spend your last $600, just don't do it. I don't want that type of energy. I don't want you to feel desperate. I've got more than enough free content out there for you. But if you do have $600 and it's like, you're like, okay, I've got the money, I can invest it, then click the link in the chat box over here. It's see the proof. That's the link. Or you can click down in the description below and check that program out. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter and I'll answer any of them. With that said, guys, I'm getting over the flu or whatever I had, so my voice is starting to go out. Do you have any last questions? Any last questions, guys, before I cut this live off for the day? See, Joseph, Dylan, I'm wishing you nothing but the best, G. I want to see you in the war room. Certainly, brother. Shane, what's the most effective way to travel? It seems like Airbnb monthly rentals are crazy expensive. So I was against having hotels and I was all about Airbnbs until I came to South America. And the reason for that is you have all these fees, and like a cleaning fee, a setup fee, a this fee, a that fee. And before you know it, you've got a like $1,000 a month Airbnb, but it has like another $500 in fees. So one of the best ways whenever you're traveling, and that's, I've got a guy that moved to Paraguay with me, got him in a hotel. And the reason I recommend hotels is, and this is only if you're going to be spending a month, 2 months, 3 months at a time in each country, 100% recommend checking out a hotel. Go to booking.com. You can get good discounts on hotels that way. I just found out about that about a year ago. So booking.com is a great way. You can book it from your phone. So let me show you right now. Boom. So you can go to booking.com. Let me check the screen so I can make sure you guys see it. Boom. You can go to booking.com, type in any city that you want to go to, and then you can find all of these hotels. You check the reviews, you can check all that type of stuff. And the reason I recommend hotels is, one, it's cheaper. Two, booking.com adds a discount, so it's even cheaper that way. And also, what do you have? You have breakfast included. So boom, one meal is taken care of. Two, you have cleaners. And three, it's safe. So I recommend hotels now. However, since I moved to Paraguay and this is my home base now, this whole apartment, it's a 6-month lease. I'm about to sign another 6 months tomorrow, and it's going to be a 12-month lease. So if you're going to be spending a long amount of time in a place, I recommend getting a hotel or an apartment, because you can sign a lease. You've got your own place. You don't have to worry about all the nonsense, all the fees. I think I pay about $300 a month for cleaners. So $300 a month. I've got cleaners that come 3 times a week. Boom. I'm happy. They're happy. I've got my own mi casa, as we say here in Paraguay. So I can have my office. I can set up a studio like you guys see behind me. So if you're going to be spending 6 months to a year in one country, I recommend just getting an apartment lease. And hit me up if you have any questions about that, because sometimes they will try to screw foreigners. So I've got tons of experience with this. So if you do have any questions, let me know. And a lot of the time they'll say, no, you can't do a 12-month lease, or you can't do a 6-month lease. You have to do a 12 months, but you can do a 6 months. So if you're interested, let me know. However, if you're still kind of just traveling around, I 100% recommend hotels. This live definitely cleared the path. Awesome night, Walker. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for all the gold tonight. I'm looking forward to learning more. Awesome, Eric. Appreciate you. Dylan, I have a question. Do you think studying 2 to 3 hours a day in email copywriting is enough? I think that's more than enough. I'd say you should spend about an hour a day studying email copywriting. So go to swipe.com, whatever. You can see all these different, actually, let me grab it and put it in the description for you, or the comments for you. Boom. Swipe file. So for all of you that are interested in getting better at copywriting, go to this website. It's free. You can check out all these different resources, like the best sales pages, best emails, all these different things. Check that out and study that. But then, as I already said, the best type of learning you can do is actually gaining experience. So what I want you to do is actually do it for yourself. Actually go out there, start a blog. Actually go out there and write emails. That is how you're going to gain actual experience. Yeah, Joseph. Like, this is another thing. And oh man, I'm about to go on a rant. So a lot of you kick your own ass, and this goes back to, and this proves, Joseph, that you are above average intelligence. You're out there putting 2-4 hours a day into study. You don't need to do that. You need to put more time into actually gaining experience. You're complicating it, and that's why you're not progressing as quickly as you want. You need to simplify it. What do you actually need to be doing? You need to learn how to write emails, how to write sales pages, whatever it is you want to do. And then you're going to progress. Got your email mogul course. Really love it. Just question, do you think email copy is better for info product niche versus e-com? So yes, I think it's way better for the info product niche. And I actually recommend going away from e-com. E-com, I've got a friend of mine that lives in Paraguay. He just bought Freelancer Mogul also. And he is like amazing. I've been in the e-com copy game for about 2 years now, blah, 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 blah. He hates it. And the reason he hates it is there's so much work that goes into it that it's just not even really worth it. Even if you make them 30 grand a month, they're still not happy. They're still not happy because now they have got to pay for this product, pay for this product. So for all of you that are wanting to get into email copywriting right now, I recommend getting into info product brands. So people that have info products, people that have coaching, all those types of things, those are ideal clients to work with. Those are the only people that I work with. Because if I make somebody 30 grand, that's almost 100% profit for them. They're happy. I don't have to have all these complicated welcome sequences and product flows, abandoned cart flows. I don't have to worry about any of that. So if you want to get into email copywriting, I really recommend focusing on YouTubers, Twitter brands, TikTok brands, etc. What's an ideal ratio of prospecting? Okay, so watch I'm going to drop this in the comment section for you guys. Watch this video. It's going to answer that question for you. 1,000, where is it? Boom. So for all of you guys that are interested in email copywriting or just freelancing in general, watch this video. It's a 45-minute video. So you might not be able to watch it all in one sitting, but you 100% should watch it this week. Check that out. And that's going to answer that question for you. You see, make sure I didn't miss any questions. Boom. Okay, we're all good. So with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut off today's show. I know this is completely spur of the moment. I need to start having more scheduled events. That way you guys 100% know, oh, okay, Dylan's going to be going live at this time. But I wanted to test this, the new background, the audio, all that good stuff. Have a fantastic night, guys. I will talk to you soon.